5. We were watching that Thunder game on my phone because we were in the building for the first playoff game ever at Intuit Dome here. So the Clippers taking on the Nuggets here. Hey. The wall, the horse heads, the whole shebang.
I'm not sure what the jackets were about, but I'm sure there was.
You know what? Yeah. I'm sure there's something to that, and I know there is something to this. Kawhi Leonard, the Clippers up 18, and then James Harden, he lays it in,
way
plus
too easy.
the foul. And a little flex on them, too. The Clippers go up by 20 here. So going ahead to the third quarter, 6:30 left to go. The Clippers up 19. Just take a look at the ball movement here, Ramona.
I mean, Norman Powell, the Zoo, back out to Kawhi, back around. I mean, they are on a string. And you know, we talked about it pregame where Ty Lue said role players play better at home. Yep.
Absolutely. And then Norm Powell takes it the other way. The Clippers up 24, and let David Adelman know. Remember, David Adelman was saying, well, they pumped crowd noise in there, and Clippers fans just wanted to make sure that they could be heard here. Here's James Harden after that emphatic win.
It's a good start. It's a good game one.
From the fan
game one into it.
Yeah, from the fan aspect, though, just what was the energy?
It was cracking. It was loud. It was just how we expected it to be. You know what I mean? I think that's one of the reasons why we jumped out to a huge lead. You know what I mean? They got behind us and we just rode that wave.
So here's the thing, though. Game 1, Game 2, they're separated by a total point. And then you have a far cry from that in this game last night. Mark. And so what did you learn about this one?
The Jeff Van Gundy effect. That defense that he's put in, that Ty Lue's put in, scary.
Yeah.
And you got one of the greatest offenses in the world that they've shut down. What they're doing is they're doubling Joker. They're doubling MPJ. They're doubling Jamal and saying the rest of the Nuggets beat us. And they're not. They're also, look at this right here. They're closing the driving lanes, adjusting shots. They're basically, the Nuggets are in a position now where they have to shoot the first shot. And a lot of times they're not, and they're passing back out. It's in disarray. And you'll see Michael Porter Jr. here. He'll take a shot. He told me he didn't get any good looks the whole game. They've been playing some stifling, amazing defense.
Yeah.
And I'm worried about this team, man. Let's see if they have the heart of a champion. They got some injuries. MPJ, I don't know. Ramona knows some more about it. Like, he may not play Saturday. Jamal's hurting. Russ is hurting. Aaron told me he could barely jump right now. How much heart do you have left? After everything that's happened the last couple of weeks, Cancun sounds cool right now. Let's see if they prefer vacation or trying to fight back in the Mile High.
I think they'll find some fight. The question, I just don't know if they have enough.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, Michael Porter Jr. had his left shoulder, and he told me he was at 20 or 30% last night. He was running down the court, and he was dragging his arm the whole time. He goes,
remember when he tried to put on his shirt?
Yeah, it took him a while.
Yeah.
And he said, if I'm going to try to play.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to be like this and I'm not really helping the team, I don't see what the point is.
That's a huge statement.
This injury that he has right now, this is a grade 2 sprain of that AC joint on it. It's a left shoulder, yeah, but you use your arm to do everything. And just being in that locker room, you could just feel this. I don't know. It felt bad in that locker room last night.
They should play the MASH music in the background.
Yeah, like Aaron had his calf taped up. I mean, with ice on it. I mean, it was a rough locker room there.
Well, if this was a marathon, they ran out of gas at the 3-mile mark.
Yeah.
I mean, they jumped off to a start last night when it was 2014. Aaron Gordon got rolling here. Where it changed, second quarter. 35-28 Clippers. Nikola Jokic comes out of the game. They go on a quick 7-0 run, and the ball game was over. And I don't know if they do have enough, because right now they're a wounded animal.
Yeah.
And you have to have a quick turnaround come Saturday to get a split.
3 p.m. start.
Saturday afternoon to go back to Denver.
And that's why I was a little bit confused. I wondered if David Adelman was going to pull his starters a little bit sooner in the fourth quarter, knowing that essentially you had a 36-hour turnaround in this. But something that is not lost on the Clippers, nor is it lost on the Denver Nuggets here, is they see what the Oklahoma City Thunder are doing. We were all there chatting with people after the game. They see OKC rolling through their first-round series. The depth of the Clippers was on full display. You talked about the double teams, but Zubats can guard Nikola Jokic on his his own. And that sort of is helping the rest of the team kind of conserve their energy. They're so deep. We talk so much about the best player versus the team with a really, really good player, a Kawhi Leonard and James Harden, and the depth to support it. That is coming out here for the Los Angeles Clippers. Should we?
The guy who usually gives Denver that juice when they don't have it, Russell Westbrook, turned his foot in pregame warm-ups and had to leave in the second quarter.
So this is going to come down to rest. It's going to come down to health. And someone in the locker room, the sentiment was, we need a 41-point triple-double from Nikola Jokic in order to be able to win this game. That is asking a heck of a lot. But if anyone can do it, you know, the Lightning is coming. Still to come on NBA Today, the Knicks, their first 5 out did something in Detroit that they haven't done in 52 years. We're going to tell you what that was and what it means for their championship aspirations. Plus, Mark, are the Bucks playing for more than their playoff lives tonight? Some league sources say things could get a little dicey if Milwaukee can't rally against Indy here. And it's a Game 3, so of course it's pivotal. But what are the keys to victory for both squads heading into Lakers-Wolves? It was a young Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. His Los Angeles Clippers, they came back from down 31 against KD, Steph Curry, Clay, Draymond, and the Warriors in the first round to tie up the series 1-1. Remember Lou Will? He finished that game with a game-high 36 in that one. But you know what they say about history? It repeats itself. SGA and the Thunder, they were down by as many as 29 points in Game 3 against the Grizzlies. But this was the pivotal play, Bobby Marks. This is when everything changed. Watch Ja Morant here. Lou Dort just catches him in the air. He goes down hard, comes down on his hip. And then there were some words exchanged here. Lou Dort said after the game that he didn't mean to. He didn't intend to hurt Ja Morant. Ja would miss both free throws, exit the game, and didn't return.
Right. He slipped. I mean, listen, Lou Dort slipped on that, but that changed the game as far as that Ja Morant injury.
Might change the series.
You know what else changed the game? Chet Holmgren. After going 0 for 4 in the first half, he started to get buckets here, heated up really in the third quarter, Mark Spears. And see that little tracker at the bottom of your screen? Since Ja Morant went out, watch the Thunder start to roar.
And we were at the Clippers game. A little curious about this score. I went away from it thinking it was done.
I was watching on your phone, Malika.
Well, that's the thing, is that in the NBA, no lead is safe here. So fourth quarter, the lead has been cut to 8. Holmgren, he drives inside for the dunk. So now the lead is trimmed to just 6. And then less than a minute later here, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander hits a nice little step-back 3 there. Here comes the Thunder within 3. Lightning doesn't strike twice, or it does, but so does the Thunder. Here comes Jalen Williams, hits the pull-up jumper there. OKC making this a real game. 2-point game here, and this is what SGA does. Finds Lou Dort, gets inside for the tough finish. The game is tied at 105, and all of a sudden, Grizzlies fans starting to get a little tight here. But Scottie Pippen Jr., he had an excellent game here, Bobby.
He came off the bench, certainly with the Ja injury, to give them a lift. They needed a lift.
And he was certainly the one to provide it here. Holmgren, though, the wing 3, gets that one to go. The game tied back up at 108. Then after free throws, OKC up 3 with 34 seconds left. Memphis with the ball, but keep an eye on Alex Caruso here. The activity, Bobby.
The difference maker. 4 steals in the second half here.
And then after contesting, he leaks out, and then he has the layup to ice the game here. The Thunder storm back to complete the 29-point comeback. Here's Chet Holmgren after a monster second half.
It's a team mentality. It's no one person. You know, everybody's voice holds the same amount of weight in that locker room, and everybody was saying something. We were all communicating. And then we came out and we cleaned it up.
Just understanding leads are not, you're never as far or, damn, I want to say it.
It's never as bad or as good as
No, that's not what I want to say though. Like you're never too far, and you're never too far ahead or too far behind. Yeah, that's right. That's how we went into it and tried to approach it.
It's just a good philosophy for life. You're running your own race. You're not competing against anybody. No one is too far ahead or behind or whatever philosophy J-Dub was trying to say here. But we do know this. The Thunder completed the largest halftime comeback in NBA postseason history. Wow. They trailed by 26 points at the half in this one. They passed the Cavaliers' 25-point comeback against the Pacers 8 years ago, Bobby. What impressed you the most in this comeback win?
You know, it's funny. I was ready to use the E word today on the show. Oh. Embarrassing.
Whoa.
Because they basically got run off the court in the first half here. And number 1 seeds that doesn't happen to them. And I'm going to go back to like the 90s, Michael Jordan, those Chicago Bulls teams, 72 win teams. That doesn't happen to them. but they were able to kind of figure it out. Of course, the Ja Morant injury, Alex Caruso in that second half, the ability to basically go small ball with this group here. The hardest part is that they did it on the road.
Yeah.
You see these comebacks, certainly we showed that clipper, they did it on the road. This was not Memphis coming back from 20 points down.
So, to me, it's Chet Holmgren. 23 of his 24 points in the second half. And it started at the end of the first half. Ja Morant has this dunk, and Ja kind of gets into it with Chet a little bit. He bumps into him, and Chet, you can see his mouth. He says, don't start that. Okay, don't start
swagger
that.
there.
Yeah. How often do you have a guy who can lead your team in the postseason in three-point shooting and rebounds?
Right.
That is a dynamic threat, and every time he would pull up for three, they'd run at him, and then he could drive to the basket. He's just such a weapon for them.
Well, I talked to Lou Dort at the end of the season. I'm like, you guys are young, man. Y'all ain't got over the hump. Like, why should we believe in you guys? He's like, we're confident, but we're not overconfident in what we've done.
Yeah.
And you see their camaraderie, but that confidence they have to come back and still think that they could beat everybody at 24 years of age average, it's quite impressive.
Yeah, and you know, for me, it's that it still feels like SGA hasn't had his patented game in this series, right? He had his lowest scoring output of the season in game one. He had a good night last night, but it wasn't very efficient. It feels like we're still waiting for that SGA patented performance, and that is what makes me say, okay, this Thunder team, they really could be for real. They take a commanding 3-0 lead. Last night, though, all of us, we were hanging down the 4-0.
Mũi nữa này. Tiếp tục móc. Rồi móc nối vào tiếp nha. Mũi tiếp theo. Cứ lần lượt như này là được. Mũi nữa. Móc tiếp. Cứ móc lần lượt như thế này là được. Tiếp nha mọi người. Mũi tiếp theo. Mũi nữa này. Bây giờ sẽ móc nối vào đây và siết dây. Đấy, được một cái phần len như thế này nhá. Bây giờ mình sẽ móc hàng tiếp theo. Sử dụng sang cái phần len vàng. Đấy, mình sẽ gỡ len ra để dùng. Đấy, móc nối vào đây và siết chặt phần len hồng. Mình sẽ móc những mũi nở kép nhé. Có mỗi cái phần hồng là mình dùng mũi đơn thôi. Cứ một mũi vào một chân cho mình. Tiếp nha mọi người. Mũi nữa. Tiếp tục móc. Mũi nữa cũng y như vậy. Đấy, móc luân phiên vào. Kẹp cái phần màu hồng ở giữa như này nhé. Mũi tiếp theo. Tiếp nha mọi người.